फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to Cricket Next. मैं हूं सौम्य कपूर and we are a couple of days away from the first test between India and England. Two big updates. So Virat Kohli has made himself unavailable for the first two games, while Rahul Dravid, head coach, has confirmed that KL Rahul will not be keeping wickets in this series. We'll talk more about this and a lot many things. I have with me Vineet Ramakrishnan joining from Hyderabad. Jamie Alton will be shortly joined by Chetan Narula and Sahil Malhotra. वेलकम टू क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट गाइस। विनीत, आई स्टार्ट विद यू। आपने प्रैक्टिस सेशन देखा, सारी बातें बाद में करेंगे। उस टीनेजर के बारे में बताइए जिसने आज जो रूट को कैसल नहीं बोलूंगा, सरप्राइज किया और डंडा मारा।
Outfox. Yeah, outfox, absolute outfox. I was lucky enough to be, right, standing right behind the Joe Root when this happened. So, मजा ये था कि Joe Root was playing a lot of left arm spinners and right arm off spinners. So these two under 16, under 17 guys were bowling from a Hyderabad Cricket Association. और दिख रहा था Joe Root what he was trying to do, trying to sweep the deliveries, and he was trying to go on his on the back foot and just play it long. So हुआ क्या, एक he went up to the young kid and said कि थोड़ा flight, throw a flight slower through the air, and that's what he did. I mean, and perfect delivery. I mean, for that 16-year-old kid to come up with a delivery like that at a moment's notice, it was fantastic. Flighted delivery, slightly loopy, slower through the air. Joe Root went forward. He was trying to defend, could not reach the pitch of the delivery. And the moment the ball, landed, it just turned away, and Joe Root had no clue what, hit him, and top of off stump. Fantastic moment for that youngster, Yashveer V it was, and his celebration, it was kind of pure satisfaction, not just jubilation. And I was able to witness that, so it was quite good, that way. I did talk to him. The story is up on the Cricketing website as well. And it's not just that one delivery. The couple of deliveries earlier instance happened where Joe Root was trying to sweep, and he got a top edge, and it would have gone to forward short leg if it was a match. And this was the same left arm spinner that was bowling. So there was a certain plan that Joe Root was, going against when during his net session. Did not really come up, to be honest. I mean, if you look back at the past record, Joe Root has been out, to left arm spinners quite often. Akshar Patel took him 3 times. The 2021 series, Jadeja in the 2016 series. So clearly, I mean, and this. The boy the boy who was bowling, I mean, those two deliveries would really rankle, Joe Root, and that's one battle, you could really see Akshar Patel versus Joe Root, or in the Jadeja versus Joe Root. So yeah, that was quite an interesting tidbit there. Apart from that usual stuff, man, Johnny Bairstow going, his baseball way. He was just trying to hit every ball out of the park. Quite extended session for Root there. Zach Crawley, Oli Pope also. Indian team also had a fun session. And quite interestingly, the very first delivery that Ravindra Jadeja bowled to Rohit Sharma, guess what? Cleaned up.
So what was it? Like, he went for the stroke, or he went for the
stroke? No, again, very similar to Joe Root. He was tentative. I mean, Rohit Sharma was tentative. It was, I think, the second delivery or third delivery he faced. So the feet were not really moving, and Jadeja really had it, got his dart spot on. And again, it just went away after pitching. Again, hitting, I think, the off stump itself. But again, it was the second delivery, and both of them had a good little chuckle after that. But after that, Rohit Sharma looked good. He was timing the ball well. Didn't have that intense kind of a session. It was just more of timing kind of thing. Jadeja also wasn't bowling that full tilt. Jadeja and Ashwin bowled in tandem to Rohit Sharma. Shubman Gill came in. One interesting update was Shreyas Iyer was hit by a ball from their throwdown specialist, the Sri Lankan throwdown specialist Nuan. He went off the field, went off the next session for near about 20 odd minutes. He came back, nothing serious, so to speak. We are still 2 days removed from the game. So yeah, nothing serious as such. Bumrah was missing. Apart from Bumrah, all the other players were there. Mukesh Kumar was bowling full tilt, the practice pitches inside the ground, while on the nets you had Siraj, you had Ashwin, you had Kuldeep, all of them chipping in. So yeah, a good session for both the teams. I would say, so to speak. Not so good for Joe Root, of course.
ओके ओके जेमी, आपने सारी सारी कहानी सुनी, ये छोटी सी जो कहानी थी टीनेजर का एक ड्रीम कम ट्रू टाइप, क्या लगता है अब जो रूट को खूब खौफ होगा जडेजा और कुलदीप और अक्षर पटेल को लेकर पूरी सीरीज में?
आई मीन लुक, जो रूट बहुत खेल चुके हैं यहाँ पे, हाँ वो थोड़े सरप्राइज तो जरूर होंगे, बट look, these guys are professionals. He's probably already made plans to not play that shot again. हाँ, ये अगर 3-4 बार होगा, then you can say, we can look for a pattern. But right now, the story is for that young boy more than anything else. जो रूट शायद इसको भूल जाएंगे, ये लड़का कभी नहीं भूलेगा उस बात को. And
Right.
it's nice because you hear of net bowlers. We like Vinith and I know someone who's aspiring to be a net bowler even for a franchise. So the kind of stories which these guys bring back now.
Yeah.
Vinith and Chetan, and we've all been at these grounds. We know the stories, but when things like this happen, it just offers something nice. Baki, look, Joe Root, he's got double hundreds against India. He's got a 5-wicket haul. He knows what's coming at him. He knows, भाई अगर कहीं ना कहीं अश्विन को पार कर लिया तो दूसरे एंड से जडेजा आएंगे, उनको खेल लिया एक सेशन में तो अक्षर पटेल आएगा. It's going to be a trial by spin because ever since the WTC, in fact, forget WTC, ever since India gave that flat wicket to this same Joe Root and they got 500, almost 600 runs and they beat India, we have only seen one flat track. So like I keep telling people when they ask me on my other show, sir, sporting wicket मिलेगा, पाटा wicket मिलेगा? मैंने कहा हाँ, तब मिलेगा जब इंडिया 4-0 है या जब इंडिया की बैंड बज गई और इनको रिवर्स मोड में जाके सेफ्टी मोड अप्रोच पे जाना पड़ेगा. So again, the ball is going to turn, it's going to spin. I don't know how much it's going to turn. We discussed yesterday. I want to hear what Vineet says because yes, we're 2 days away, but oftentimes we get an indication 2 days before कि ये pitch कैसे होगा. Is it going to be flat? I don't think so. Is it going to be a raging turner? I don't think so. It's just probably going to be that amount of turn to put the doubt in the mind of Joe Root. Harry Brooker is not there. I don't know who's going to play. Vineet, maybe you've heard something. But again, this whole baseball is going to be a common theme for 5 test matches. And the biggest challenge is going to be the spinners. So, जो भी है भाई, मैं तो बहुत दिनों बाद एक home test series का इंतजार कर रहा हूँ. We get kind of bored of these 3-day turners and all. But just because it's baseball and just because we might, chota might see something different, let's get the game started very soon here.
True. Okay, on that note, I'll also welcome Chetan bhai. Chetan bhai, welcome to Cricket Next. और सबसे बड़ा अपडेट ये है आज का, राहुल द्रविड has confirmed that KL Rahul is not going to keep cricket. He has confirmed in the press conference को. तो क्या लगता है कि अब obviously अगर इनकी बातों पे जाएं तो केएस भरत या ध्रुव जुरेल में से कोई ना कोई होगा. एंड ऑल्सो यू हैव अ वैकेंसी देयर एट नंबर 4 क्योंकि विराट कोहली पहले 2 मैचेस के नहीं है. तो क्या लगता है क्या कॉम्बिनेशन अब हो सकता है उन 5 ऊपर के 6 बल्लेबाजों?
तो सबसे पहले तो हमें पता ही था, हम इतने टाइम से, मैं तो शो पे कह ही रहा था कि केएल राहुल विकेट्स नहीं रखेंगे. अब आप नहीं मानते हो मेरी बात तो ठीक है. मैं तो कह ही रहा था जब से हम लोगों ने टेस्ट सीरीज के बारे में बात करना शुरू किया है. मैंने हमेशा ही बोला कि केएल राहुल इज नॉट गोइंग टू कीप विकेट्स and he's not said anything different. The fact that they have 2 wicket keepers in the squad, it means they are not looking at KL Rahul as a keeper. And they're looking at him as a proper batter. अब वो obviously जो significance है वो change हो गया है because Virat is not there. Probably earlier his role might have been different. Now his role could be different. We don't know yet. I still don't think he'll bat at number 4, but nobody's been added to the squad. So either they all move one spot up or KL Rahul spots in at 4, whatever it is. जो भी है. What was your second question?
I'm asking कौन से वो 6 या 7 बल्लेबाज ऊपर के क्या आप लाइनअप देखते हो अब?
Rohit, Yashasvi, Shubman, ideally it should be Shreyas and KL, and then one of the keepers, and then Ravindra Jadeja. But it could be KL at 4 and Shreyas at 5. Maybe they don't want to shift him. I would prefer to see Dhruv Jurel as the keeper. मैंने पहले भी कहा है, but I think it's going to be Shrikar Bharat, especially because he scored 100 in the Lions game. So yeah, but again, आपको अगर ध्रुव जुरेल को डेब्यू देना है तो I think this is a good opportunity because आगे जाके if you're 2-1 down or 1-0 down, that's possible. Let's not suggest कि it's not possible. It's possible that you might be down in the series. आपका एक सबसे बड़ा खिलाड़ी आपका नहीं खेल रहा है. We don't know what kind of pitches these are. We've seen, स्पिन फ्रेंडली ट्रैक्स पे ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने इंडिया को हराया है. विकेट वेयर इट टेक्स टर्न ऑन थर्ड एंड फोर्थ डे, वहां पे चेन्नई में क्या कहते हैं, इंग्लैंड ने ही इंडिया को हराया है. सो फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ दैट यू नो you have to understand कि it's possible that India can lose. ऐसा नहीं है. So I would think this would have been an ideal opportunity to give a debut to Dhruv Jurel, but I think it's going to be Shrikar Bharat. Number 7 for Ravindra Jadeja, but I don't think कि अक्षर पटेल नहीं खेलेंगे. मेरे हिसाब से अक्षर पटेल खेलेंगे. So I think we're looking at 5 bowlers again. बाकी विनीत ही बताएंगे कि what kind of pitch it is, what kind of soil has been used. एंड सबसे पहले ये बताओ कि वहाँ पे गर्मी है ना भाई, क्योंकि मैं कोई जैकेट लेके नहीं आ रहा हूँ.
है गर्मी, अच्छी खासी गर्मी है यहाँ पे, तो जैकेट वैकेट सब दिल्ली के सर्दी के लिए रखना काफी है. That way.
मैं सिर्फ एक जैकेट जो पहन के एयरप्लेन में बैठने वाला हूँ वही लेके आ रहा हूँ. उसके अलावा
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल उसी की जरूरत है, बस उसी की ही जरूरत है.
ओके, पिच और वेदर पे थोड़ा बाद में आऊंगा मैं. आई टेक a detailed update from Vineet on that. But Sahil, welcome to Cricket Next. Welcome to the live session. और we were talking about Dhruv Jurel. Probably Dhruv Jurel के लिए chance है कि शायद उन्हें कैप दे देना चाहिए. अब what do you think? Because KL is not keeping wickets. What Rahul Dravid has said. What are your thoughts?
I think first it was a very funny comment by Rahul Dravid when he said that he was never going to keep wickets. I think then there was a miscommunication because the selectors in the squad sheet mentioned KL Rahul as the wicket keeper when the squad was announced for the first 2 tests. Now having said that, I think Dhruv Jurel, yes, he scored a couple of half centuries for India A and had a couple of half centuries for Uttar Pradesh too in his last first class outings. But Shrikar Bharat, I think, is fresh from 100 now. He was leading the side. He scored 100. We were getting those indications that it might be the case that Dhruv Jurel would be with the gloves because he did keep wickets against England Lions. But order was restored as the last innings against the England Lions. It was Shrikar Bharat with the gloves. And he should be, in the 11 ahead of Jurel at least for the first test. और अगर कुछ मेजर डिजास्टर हो जाता है पहले 1-2 टेस्ट के अंदर, तभी मैं ध्रुव जुरेल का अब डेब्यू देख रहा हूँ, क्योंकि वो क्यू कल्चर फॉलो होने वाला है. उसके अंदर कोई डाउट नहीं है. वो क्यू में अभी केएस भारत के पीछे हैं ध्रुव जुरेल, और चांस मिल सकता है. पूरी पॉसिबिलिटी है ध्रुव जुरेल को इस सीरीज में चांस मिलने का, बट स्टार्ट कोना भरत से ही लग रहा होगा, क्योंकि 100 लग गया ना अब, तो अब थोड़ा रन्स आर बिहाइंड हिम और थोड़ा वो फॉलो होने का चांसेस ज्यादा है. बाकी आई थिंक Vineet would tell us better who was probably doing the wicket keeping drills in Hyderabad or who was training how. वहां से ही थोड़ा एक क्यू मिल सकता है आपको.
Coming to the major part, ना 4 नंबर की जो जगह है वो खाली है, तो कौन लगता है कि वहां पे कौन बैट कर सकता है सर?
I think Shreyas should be batting at 4th there, Shreyas or KL Rahul, because now you don't have that problem of playing either one of them. Going by what Chetan was saying, that there's a possibility of 5 bowlers playing in this test match. If that happens, pehle there was a situation where you had to make that call between KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer, because you had a specialist keeper in either Dhruv Jurel or KS Bharat. Now that Kohli isn't there, I think you just move one spot up and it's going to be either Shreyas Iyer or KL Rahul who will be batting at 4, and I think it's going to be Shreyas Iyer at 4, followed by KL Rahul at 5, a keeper at 6, Jadeja, Akshar, another spinner, Ashwin. What another spinner? क्या बोल देता हूँ अभी? Ashwin, and then the 2 medium pacers. So this should be the 11. Now अब देखो क्या करते हैं.
कुलदीप बाहर रहने वाले हैं.
कुलदीप का लग रहा है यार, मतलब आप इतना रिस्क ये लेंगे नहीं जितना लग रहा है. मतलब आइडियली तो कुलदीप को खेलना चाहिए, बिकॉज यू नीड टू कीप द बिगर पिक्चर इन माइंड, क्योंकि आपको एक अवे टेस्ट के लिए एक स्पिनर रेडी करना है, तैयार करना है, क्योंकि जडेजा अश्विन आर नॉट गोइंग टू बी फॉरएवर फॉर यू. बट राइट नाउ आई थिंक गिवन द वे वी आर प्लेस्ड इन द WTC cycle right now, all desperation will be to win maximum games at home starting with this series. So मतलब सेंस तो कहती है कि आप कुलदीप को खिलाओ, कुलदीप को खिलाओ, जडेजा को खिलाओ, अश्विन को खिलाओ, 3 डिफरेंट स्पिनर्स. बट थोड़ा ये अक्सर की तरफ जाते हुए देखेंगे, जो इंडिया का मेरे नजर में MVP था बॉर्डर गवास्कर ट्रॉफी में जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया आई थी.
थोड़ा तो बोल्ड होना चाहिए. यहाँ टीनेजर बच्चे डंडा मार रहे हैं जो रूट का यार. नेक्स्ट
आई रेड दैट स्टोरी, मैंने विनीत का स्टोरी पढ़ा कि 16-17 साल का लड़का एकदम टर्न बाउंस फॉरवर्ड डिफेंस और डंडा मारा.
Okay, coming to the pitch thing, Vineet, what do you make of the pitch? Did you have a look at it? क्या है, क्या formation है?
how can I have a look at it, the pitch? I mean, Dravid put it perfectly. Like, I mean, they just had a one glance at it and looked like a decent pitch. I mean, we also got a very, vantage point of view. What one thing that I'll tell you is that, Australia series में एक बात हुई थी, doctored pitches, like certain areas were being watered, certain area patches में थे. Something similar was here. So the spinners का जो length होता है, so at both ends you could see a strip of dryness there at the spinner's length. So that was a big giveaway for us, saying that बॉस होने वाला है काम यहाँ पे. Spinners would be in play sooner than later. But we tried talking to the officials there and thereabout. Everybody was saying that look, it would spin. ऐसा नहीं कि spin नहीं होगा या पाटा होगा या raging turner होगा. It would spin. It will be difficult. What we could make out was, Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma, customary to them as it is. Sahil, as I've been reporting this during the World Cup also, that they had the first look at the pitch, and Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid had a long conversation around that also. In fact, Rahul Dravid came back once the India session was wrapping up. He went alone, again had a look at the pitch, went to the curators, had a lot of talk to the curators as well. What was the talk? I'm not really privy to all those things, but overall, I mean, look and feel, what we are feeling, from various sources is the fact that yeah, it will be a turning track, so to speak. Black soil is what it is. If I have to answer what Chetan was asking in terms of what kind of soil has been used. And remember the last time around when Hyderabad hosted a test match, it was surprisingly Umesh Yadav who picked up wickets, and there was enough bounce also. So you could see that. I mean, a double bluff may be on the cards also. So let's not worry too much into the pitch for me. I mean, the pitch would be the same for both the teams. It's the mindset. Even Australia series, maybe we were talking about pitch. Eventually, it went down to the bowlers who bowled so damn well in that first two test matches. So pitch would play a certain part, but not really to that extent. And look, Mark Wood came for the press conference. Rahul Dravid came for the press conference. These questions were put to them, and their mindset was, look, it is not something in their control. At least Mark Wood said that. They said that we'll play, whatever we see. We'll not be defensive at all. We'll try to be aggressive. Rahul Dravid, as usual, in his usual tone, trying to toe that safe line, said that it might turn, it might not. So there's not too much to read into it. There's one more day to go. Tomorrow, I think, we'll have a better idea in terms of how the pitch would play out. कहाँ पे patches हैं, क्या है, कैसे है? Would they shave off the remaining grass? I remember Nagpur में, I think 2016, 2017, there was an instance where पूरा शेव कर दिया था. उसके बाद that hard steel brush के साथ भी पूरा scrape off कर रहे थे पूरा surface. I don't know, something of that sort would happen here or not. But yeah, one more day to go. Tomorrow I'll probably give you a better idea in terms of pitch condition, how it is and how could it play.
5 स्पिनर लेकर आया इंग्लैंड, एंड दे आर नॉट रीडिंग इन अ लॉट इनटू इट.
एक पहुंचा ही नहीं है यार. वो लग भी नहीं रहा पहुंचेगा फर्स्ट टेस्ट या सेकंड टेस्ट में.
Okay, so as we are talking about the spinners, I have a comment for you. I have a question for you, Jimmy. Kuldeep is saying India should look for Kuldeep in place of Aksar. In Pakistan, mystery spinner Abrar troubled them the most. Your thoughts, Jimmy sir?
Look, we've been discussing this at least for the last 2 shows. There's no doubt that skill-wise, Kuldeep should play, and we've discussed this also. If India can confirm that these are going to be raging turners or slow and low tracks, like Chetan and I are saying, drop a pace bowler. Pacers in the last WTC cycle at home have hardly bowled collectively more than 5 to 8 overs in the second innings. You don't need it. But is that going to happen? Highly unlikely. Akshar Patel was India's leading run getter and the best batsman of the BGT. He's going to play. It's because of other people's weaknesses that Akshar Patel plays, not for anything he's doing. Yes, he's batting brilliantly, but it's because Pujara averaged 22, Jadeja averaged 24, so-and-so averaged less. That's why he plays. What is the thing about some mystery spinner? If I can get the comment again.
Abrar. He's talking about Abrar.
No, Abrar might vaguely resemble Harry Potter, but there's no mystery. He's a very standard leg spinner, so I don't know what mystery spinner. He's a good leg spinner, but there's nothing mysterious about him. I saw him in a couple of sessions. He looked good, but again, when you hammer Pakistan 3-0, I don't think any bowler really troubles Bazball in those matches. So yeah, sorry.
Okay. The next one is from the same person. चेतन भाई, कुलदीप सिंह, अगर केएल राहुल की सेंचुरी नहीं आती साउथ अफ्रीका में तो पक्का ही वुड हैव बीन कीपिंग विकेट्स. अब परफॉर्मेंस आ गई है तो उनको ऑप्शन मिल गया है टू कीप हिम इन द साइड. व्हाट डू यू से?
I have nothing to say to this. अभी हम पूरा एक्सप्लेन कर चुके हैं कि 2 कीपर आप ले रहे हो, ये है. सेंचुरी आती है नहीं आती उससे क्या लेना देना है. कंडीशंस देखो ना आप. साउथ अफ्रीका में जो कंडीशंस थे वहां पे यू नीडेड समबडी हु कुड बैट एंड कीप. यहाँ पे कंडीशंस हैं, विराट कोहली नहीं हैं जो आपके बैटर हैं. यू नीड देम फोकस्ड. Is keeping in South Africa the same as keeping in India on rank turn? No, it's not. So मतलब मैं क्या जवाब दूं? मतलब are you saying कि केएल राहुल अपनी मर्जी से ये कर रहे हैं? What do you want?
Yeah. Sahil, what are your thoughts on this? Sahil?
So I think it has the 100 or no 100 has little bearing on what is going to happen or what was going to happen in this series, because keeping against Ravichandran Ashwin, Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, Kuldeep Yadav on raging turners is not anybody's game, boss. मतलब it's not easy. You मतलब अगर आप physical कितना वो load लेता है, it's unlike a half squat which you do while you are keeping two pacers. You have to go up and down like multiple times, and यहाँ पे तो over number 1 से you are like in game as a keeper, because spin is introduced that early when it comes to playing test cricket in India. So KL Rahul, you know, he wouldn't put his body through that much risk, especially after the layoff he had last year. वो risk नहीं लेगा और management भी वो risk नहीं लेगा, क्योंकि अगर हमें याद हो layoff के बाद भी एक, if I'm not wrong, groin में निगल आया था before the Asia Cup. So you won't risk your batter who is giving you an option to keep wickets abroad. So अभी आगे जाकर how much of this luxury turns out to be remains to be seen, but I think it definitely does open up a lot of stability in the middle order, where you have someone like a KL Rahul who can do the job for you on away assignments. So home assignments में उसको आप बचा के रखो. केएस भरत है, ध्रुव जुरैल है, उनको तैयार करो. और आपने लास्ट बीजीटी के अंदर देखा था केएस भरत जो इंडिया का apparently मतलब safest pair of hands hai behind the stumps. Even he struggled against Ashwin, Jadeja, and even pacers. I recall him dropping a sitter of Umesh Yadav in Ahmedabad, if I'm not right. Usman Khwaja ka tha early on in the innings. So it's not easy to keep in India यार. और उसके अंदर आप मतलब फिर केएल राहुल करता कुछ छोड़ता तो हम लोग ही उसके पीछे तलवार चाकू लेके पड़ जाते. तो it's fair that he's not doing it, but it does open up a good opportunity that you have that option of KL keeping abroad, so you can kind of solidify that middle order and probably go with an extra batter or a bowler when you are, you know, on challenging away assignments.
But
till the time Rishabh Pant is back.
बट थोड़ा सा हार्श नहीं हो जाएगा जो यंगस्टर्स जैसे ध्रुव और केएस दोनों पे कि यार ठीक है आप सिर्फ इंडियन असाइनमेंट्स पे हो, आप क्योंकि आपके लिए बाहर के लिए कोई ना कोई एक कीपर है, तो थोड़ा सा हार्श नहीं हो जाएगा, थोड़ा सा डिमोटिवेटिंग नहीं हो जाएगा दोनों यंगस्टर्स के लिए?
It's called life यार. It's life.
Squad के अंदर
Sport is demotivating and harsh.
motivation कुछ नहीं है. You are part of the India squad. मतलब you're like one call away from, you know, playing 11 and singing the national anthem. So इससे बड़ी चीज कोई हो नहीं सकती. I don't see it will be a case of any motivation or demotivation here. I think this is what it is. This is how cricket is. Cricket works on combinations, conditions. It doesn't work on what you want. I think it's more of a team's requirement, and right now the team's requirement says that you need KL Rahul in a better shape as a middle order batter. Now that Virat Kohli is gone, अभी तो केएल को आप कुछ डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर ही नहीं सकते पहले 2 टेस्ट के लिए, क्योंकि आप मिडिल ऑर्डर देखोगे यार, मतलब अभी इट्स काइंड ऑफ वेयरिंग अ वेरी फ्रेजाइल लुक, राइट? बिकॉज देयर इज नो पुजारा, देयर इज नो अजिंक्य रहाणे. वी हैव मूव्ड ऑन फ्रॉम देम, एंड राइट नाउ वी आर फोर्स्ड टू बीइंग मूव्ड ऑन फ्रॉम विराट कोहली फॉर द फर्स्ट 2 टेस्ट एट लीस्ट. So अब उसके अंदर केएल राहुल तो becomes a very important cog of that entire unit. It's especially in the middle order, because he's someone who can kind of bat long and bat deep and just allow others around him, the likes of Shreyas, the likes of Jadeja, Akshar, to kind of keep the runs going. तो केएल को एकदम इस टाइम खेलने दो यार. मतलब अभी और मोटिवेशन डिमोटिवेशन, आई थिंक ध्रुव जुरैल को आप पूछोगे वो कहेगा कि मेरा तो सौभाग्य है कि मैं टीम के साथ हूँ अभी. वो लग जाएगा डेब्यू भी यार. It's a matter of time now.
Okay, next one is for you, Vineet. Vian is saying we all in India are playing both Akshar and Jadeja to have batting till number 9, but Kuldeep must play at 10 instead of Siraj. If the pitch is going to spin from ball 1, we need a mystery spinner.
As you mentioned, there's no mystery about Kuldeep. I mean, he's a proper bowler. कोई mystery नहीं है यार. I mean, अगर off spin left arm spinner Unorthodox, orthodox हो तो mystery नहीं कह सकते. But that's not the main point. The point here is you're saying कि अक्सर जडेजा को बैटिंग लंबा करना है इसलिए अक्सर खेल रहे. That's a valid point actually. I mean, you look at BGT. I mean, Jamie has mentioned about it. Chetan has mentioned about it. बैटिंग तो थोड़ी फ्रेजाइल है, सो अक्सर गिव्स यू दैट काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस कि अगर कुछ दिक्कत अगर आ जाती है, अक्सर इज देयर टू यू नो so to speak do a rear guard effort. So that could be one of the reasons why you see aksar there. Ball once a turn hoga, you don't know. I mean, we all are speculating here. Nobody knows. Even Rahul Dravid doesn't know. So let's see. Ball once a turn होना तो नहीं चाहिए, but even then that doesn't merit कि यार आप बिठा दो किसी को. ठीक है, अगर आपको खिलाना है चारों स्पिनर को, आपको बिल्कुल डोमिनेटिंग से परफॉर्मेंस करना है, यू माइट एज वेल ऐड कुलदीप यादव, बट देयर इज नो हार्म इन हैविंग अ सिराज एंड अ बुमराह आल्सो. आई मीन, आप खिला सकते हो अक्सर का. डेफिनेटली, आई मीन, आई से दिस अगेन, बैटिंग वीकनेस की वजह से ही अक्सर खेल रहे हैं वहां पे. अदरवाइज कुलदीप वुड हैव बीन एन आइडियल चॉइस. यू नो, ही गिव्स far more variety in terms of his bowling as well. Aksar is more like to रविंद्र जडेजा डार्ट्स फेंकते हैं. दैट आल्सो हैज मेरिट, बट कुलदीप में भी मेरिट है. आई मीन, स्लो डिलीवरीज, जैसे जिस तरीके से आई को गो बैक टू दैट जो रूट थिंग, थोड़ा फ्लाइट डिलीवरी स्लोअर कराया तो समझ नहीं पाए. सो दैट चेंज इन पेस आल्सो वुड हेल्प फ्रॉम व्हाट जडेजा बोल्स. Ashwin is already there, but I don't see why India would go with that kind of thing where they'll drop Siraj and play just one bowler that is just Jasprit Bumrah. They'll probably go with three spinners and two pacers. That's the ideal kind of a thing. And look, this is result-oriented stuff for India. You know, the Rahul Dravid said कि WTC के ख्याल अभी हमारे दिमाग में नहीं है यार, दिमाग में है, इसीलिए तो तुम ऐसे पिचेस बना रहे हो, तुम्हें जीतना है. Whatever you say, it's a result-oriented thing. Best combination that works. So that's how it is going to be.
Okay. Next one is from Sportsfan. Jimmy, I'll come to you for this. Please also talk about England combination. Which pacers and spinners will they go with? Jimmy, your bowling.
Look, they brought Ben Stokes is not going to bowl, so I think they brought four pacers: Mark Wood, Robinson, Anderson, and I don't know who the fourth one is. Maybe Ollie Stone.
Gus Atkinson. Gus Atkinson
was supposed to be the X factor in the World Cup. We know how that went down. Look, they brought five spinners. Like I've been saying, it's very easy to dismiss. यार ये शोएब बशीर 2 मैच खेला है, Tom Hartley क्या चीज है. These are 1.93 meter spinners, both of them. Okay, so that to me is one warning sign there. सबसे बड़ी बात, I just go back to the BGT last year. People were like, Todd Murphy क्या यार, ये भी Harry Potter है. The guy got Virat Kohli 4 times. Indian teams, irrespective of whether it's Kohli's team or Sachin Azhar's team, they traditionally don't do well against unknown commodities. इनको समय लगता है unknown commodity को समझने में, और sometimes it gets too late, you know. So Todd Murphy in his first test match gets 7 wickets. Forget the result. Australia were beaten fair and square in those first 2 matches. But are you telling me in those matches, names like Rohit and Virat and these guys did not struggle against Matt Kuhneman, Todd Murphy? So I am very, very wary about these spinners. Jack Leach has played here. He's not the greatest spinner. But Jack Leach and Dom West also put India under the pump for a few sessions. Now you throw in Tom Hartley. I would say bloody play all these jokers because you don't know what's going to happen. Play Anderson, Ollie Robinson yahan nahi chalenge. If you want to beat India, pick up people they don't know and just throw them at them. That is your best chance. And you don't need to go back more than 10 months to Matt Kuhneman. Matt Kuhneman flew in from somewhere as a replacement for someone. कोई घर गया मुझे याद नहीं है. भाई next day वो match खेल रहा है. पहले दिन पे वो 5 विकेट ले रहा है वो. These turning tracks will backfire against India. Make no mistake. Series India ले जाएगी. Most likely 4-1, maybe 3-2. But the Shoaib Bashir, Rehan Ahmed, मैं कह रहा हूँ इनको खिला दो. You know, we're talking about India playing 4 spinners. I would say England, Joe Root's got 5 wickets for nothing here as well. So I was saying, I know they're not going to do it. They're probably going to be more conservative. Baseball sounds great, but असली गूदा जिनके अंदर है वो है पैट कमिंस की टीम. They take risks. I don't see this England team, despite McCullum, despite Stoke, despite their traveling entourage of biased, jingoistic journalists, I don't think they have the balls to actually do that. They're going to be conservative, probably 3 seamers and 2 spinners, with Joe Root being the 6th bowler. Me personally, if I'm McCullum and I'm talking baseball and I'm walking the talk, if Shoaib Bashir lands up, बेटा नेक्स्ट डे तो इंडिया के सामने खेल रहा है. It's the only way, the only challenge to India is to play these unknown spinners. इंडिया की हालत बहुत टाइट हो सकती है इन लोग के सामने.
True, true. Okay, Chetan bhai, next one is for you. Harsh is saying, Chetan, before a mega series like this, is it surprising England coming to India 3 days before, though they stayed in Abu Dhabi?
A little surprising. I thought, they could have come here and played a tour game. It's such a big series. Send out a message. आजकल टूर गेम्स की वैल्यू खत्म हो गई है बिल्कुल ही. इंडिया ने तो पता नहीं 10 साल से कोई टूर गेम नहीं खेला मेरे ख्याल से. 2013 में भी when I started traveling overseas तब भी कोई 2014 2018 में एक आध बार उन्होंने इंग्लैंड में कोई टूर गेम्स खेले थे, but they were also not first class matches. Yeah, I mean, maybe they could have played not a first class match, a tour game against any side really. Against India A under 19, किसी के against भी खेल लेते यार. They could have played a game here. And the reason why I say that is because जिस तरीके से वो खेलते हैं, जिस तरीके का brand of cricket वो खेलते हैं, they could have played that and sent out a message. We are here to play this kind of cricket. We are here to play this brand of cricket that we talk about all the time. Baseball. अभी हमने जो भी baseball देखा है वो ऐसी pitches पे देखा है जो इंडिया से बहुत different pitches हैं. So while we expect them to play that kind of cricket, I don't know if pitches are going to be conducive to that brand of cricket, and if, irrespective of the pitches you're going to play that brand, it can be suicidal. So yeah, there has been a bit of criticism from England also about their lack of match practice. But look, जैसा मैंने कहा कि आज की डेट पे क्रिकेट बिल्कुल चेंज हो चुका है. So every team has its own practices and everything. Nobody plays first class matches or practice games. They all want their own intra-team camps and everything. So उस हिसाब से they have done it. Abu Dhabi probably provides them a little more. एक चीज का ध्यान रखना होगा कि look, I'm not criticizing India because obviously I live here, but Abu Dhabi provides them that lack of, I don't know, lack of jarriness or lack of noise. You know what I'm trying to say? वर्ल्ड कप में आप देखो, द मोमेंट दे लैंडेड एंड बेस्टो का पिक्चर ऐसा था कि ही वुड रादर बी एनीवेयर एल्स देन प्ले द वन. सो इंडिया हैज दिस हैबिट ऑफ हिटिंग यू इन द फेस, और ये इंग्लिश क्रिकेटर्स के साथ बहुत होता है. आई थिंक ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड साउथ अफ्रीका हैव अडैप्टेड ब्रिलियंटली टू व्हाट इंडिया हैज टू ऑफर. उन्होंने होल हार्टेडली उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है, अपने अंदर एसिमिलेट कर लिया है, which is why they love coming back here again and again and again. But I think बीच में ऐसा टाइम आया था, खास करके एलिस्टर कुक की जो टीम आई थी 2012 में, they also accepted coming to India, let it hit them in the face, enjoy it, whatever India has to offer. I don't think this English team is accepting that. So for them, it made sense to be in Abu Dhabi, away from that noise and that hit in your face. जैसा, and it says it all, right? They're bringing their own cook here and everything. मतलब IPL में आते हैं, अलग अलग टीम के लिए खेलते हैं ये लोग. 15 प्लेयर आते हैं, 15 कुक लेके आते हैं क्या? तब तो नहीं लेके आते, अब उनको कुक चाहिए. So that shows you a lot that they are not allowing India to hit them in the face, or they're not accepting what India is. This bunch of English cricketers. So yeah, it was not surprising for me, but there has been criticism from the English quarters about what they did, but ठीक है यार, every team, as long as they can win this series, they can go and camp in Mars. So.
True.
Just to add on to that point and that question, this was a question that was put up to Rahul Dravid also, the lack of tour games and why even you look at India and for the South Africa tour, they played an intra-squad game. So this question was put up to him, and Dravid had a rather interesting answer to that. He said, look, the quality of the tour games have deteriorated. That is the main reason. Earlier during his playing days, the quality, he talked about, county, the team playing county teams, and you had professionals playing, the first 11 guys there. So the quality of that tour game was better in terms of preparation. Now that is not the case, and that was one of the reasons why Rahul Dravid mentioned that even India doesn't, prefer in terms of having a tour game, and they are touring overseas. Even South Africa, he mentioned about that intra-squad thing, but also he did mention that they wanted England to come to India and play a tour game. That is the reason why they selected a very strong India A squad. They had hoped that this England team will play against India A, which did not happen. So yeah, I mean, just to add on to that point, the lack of tour games, this could be one of the reasons. सारे teams को यही पता है, and अपने जो secrets है अपने पास ही रखना चाहते हैं, आपस में ही करो.
Okay, the next one. Can I have the next question, please? Yeah. Avneet Harsh is asking how big is the series for McCullum and Stokes if they want the results to go their way after losing the Ashes at home?
It's against India. It is going to be big for Stokes. Look, in terms of achievement, I don't see this that they probably achieved, the most of the things there. But yeah, I mean, any series, it's a big thing for them. Brendan McCullum, remember, he was here in Hyderabad. He had played that brilliant knock of 200. So he'll come back. He'll have good memories. Stokes also, look, he's coming back on and off. Raha hai unka, so he also wants to get into the thick of action and see, have one bucket list ticked in their careers as well. Brendan McCullum, it would be a good feather in his cap as a coach. Also, that his philosophy of basketball, really worked out. And it's for me, the biggest thing for me is that England have been so much carrying on this basketball philosophy, and India is probably one of the toughest conditions to execute that kind of a brand of cricket. And if they're able to execute that and give India a run for their money, what better thing for both Stokes and McCullum? So of course, yes, it's a big series for them. WTC championship points are also on the line, and English guys are a bit pompous, egoistic that way, so they also want a bit of thing working their way as well.
Okay. Next one is for Sahil. Sahil, Vyan is asking, क्योंकि अब KL Rahul की fielding positions का भी suggestions है हमारे पास. So Ajinkya Rahane was a brilliant slip fielder. In his absence, KL must field in the slip position as taking catches and slips is going to improve.
He was practicing at third slip, just to add. He was practicing at third slip.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think first and second slip you are sorted with Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill. और गली पे आपके पास श्रेयस अय्यर है ही और वाइडिश. Yeah, so I think विनीत ने एकदम करेक्ट बोला. मेरे को तो थर्ड स्लिप ही दिखेगा. मतलब अभी आप यशस्वी जायसवाल एंड शुभमन गिल हैव काइंड ऑफ, शुभमन गिल especially has grown into a very good slip catcher. आपने ODIs में भी देखा. I saw him very closely during the World Cup, also doing his bit, working very hard on his reflexes and close in catching. So I would still persist with Shubman Gill and Yashasvi Jaiswal as first and second slip. Vinit said third slip for KL Rahul, probably a gully or a widish slip. अगर इतनी जरूरत पड़ेगी तो पहले तो एक स्लिप दो स्लिप पे काम खत्म हो जाएगा, क्योंकि थर्ड स्लिप तक तो सीमर वाली नौबत आने नहीं वाली मुझे लग रहा है. मतलब आप दो स्लिप शॉर्ट लेग ऐसा फील्ड्स रखेंगे फास्ट बॉलर्स के साथ भी. But again, I would like continue with Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill because they've shown that they are very 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 good slip catchers at the moment.
तो साइज शॉर्ट लेग पे किसको लगाओगे?
हाँ,
शॉर्ट लेग पे किसको लगाओगे? क्योंकि हार की बाइस जो
रोहित खड़ा हुआ ना, रोहित हुआ था ना साउथ अफ्रीका सीरीज के. कैप्टन हैज नो ईगोस, ही विल स्टैंड एट शॉर्ट लेग.
ओके, स्लिप में कौन से कैच आने, ये भी फेयर पॉइंट. साहिल, फेयर पॉइंट.
मैं स्लिप पे मैं अभी मेरे को एकदम याद आने लग गया जब वो पिच का पिक्चर देखा ना मैंने, मेरे को इंदौर की एकदम से याद आ गई, बिकॉज आई थिंक सिमिलर थिंग वाज डन right through the Border Gavaskar Trophy, and this Indore pitch kind of stuck into my head because that differentiation in the color ना, dark light और फिर थोड़ा और light, and that selective watering जिसकी इतनी बात हुई थी जब pitch doctoring का इतना हु हल्ला मचा था, ये राहुल द्रविड़ ने फिर माइनफील्ड ना खोद दिया वो इंदौर वाला. जिस हिसाब से पानी का छिड़काव चल रहा है ना.
So Vyan has clarified he meant KL operating during spinners.
No, I don't think so. I don't think KL will be at first slip. मतलब रोहित, यशस्वी या शुभमन में से ही एक रहने वाला है. मतलब मुश्किल है फर्स्ट स्लिप पे केएल का. I don't see that happening.
Okay. Jimmy, Dev Pratap is asking which English batsman do you see being successful apart from Root? Duckett plays good horizontal bat.
It's a good question because whatever these guys have achieved under baseball, it's not come in any remotely tough condition like this. New Zealand, we discussed, I don't know, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, conditions there have eased out. They beat Pakistan 3-0. You can tell what kind of tracks those were. Last summer, I remember the Brits and the Aussies were saying, why is Edgbaston so flat? So it's a tough one because barring Joe Root, no one has actually done anything here. Zach Crawley यहाँ नहीं, Ben Tucker तो कभी यहाँ खेले नहीं. Zach Crawley मेरे ख्याल से कम matches खेले. Ollie Pope पता नहीं, off the top of my head I don't know how many matches he's played here. Ben Stokes has got hundreds here, but this is a very very different Ben Stokes, with all his injuries and now being the captain. How attacking is he going to be? देखो Johnny Bairstow तो I mean we need to mention Johnny Bairstow nets में तो खूब best ball करेंगे. But I'm actually struggling, and I'm going to even include Root here. I can't see one England batsman consistently take on these spinners because since the WTC came around, since raging turners became the norm, since the importance of getting points on board came into the norm, have any visiting batsman managed to take on India spinners for more than a session, more than an hour? Travis Head did it briefly, but he didn't get big scores. So as good as all these guys have been at home against South Africa, they've beaten, I think, everyone except they drew with Australia 2-2. They drew with New Zealand 1-1. Baki jo bhi aaya, inko tod diya, They hammered India. They hammered South Africa. They were down 1-0 and they smashed South Africa. They smashed Pakistan, So hats off to you. But yaar, I really cannot name. And even I'm putting Joe Root. I'm not saying because some 16-year-old kid bowled Joe Root. I'm saying Joe Root at this stage, are his reverse shots going to work off when Ashwin and Jadeja are bowling? Good luck. So I repeat myself, the only threat I see coming from the England camp are these unknown spinners. Nobody else.
Okay. Chetan bhai, Harsh is asking, do playing with DRS made playing tougher on turning decks? Can you just explain a bit more, Harsh?
A little bit. I guess yes. I mean, जो LBW एक मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ. चेतेश्वर पुजारा की एक बहुत, मैं ये नहीं कहूँगा कि बुरी आदत है, but उनकी ये आदत है. He puts his bat in line with his pad and he tries to make it like he is trying to attempt to play the ball. ये बल्लेबाज करते हैं. बहुत आप स्टीव वॉ को देखना, आपने देखा हो तो Steve Waugh did it a lot. Steve Waugh had perfected this art. So क्या होता है कि if you are, so in LBW laws, when you are not playing a shot but attempting to play a shot, जैसे so LBW laws क्या कहते हैं? If you're not attempting to play a shot, you can be given LBW irrespective of where the ball pitches. Whether the ball is hitting you outside the off stump or not, you can be given out LBW. So Steve Waugh क्या करते थे? He used to pretend he's playing the shot, but he would keep his bat just in line with his pad or just behind his pad. और ये इंग्लैंड में बहुत होता है. ये इंग्लैंड के क्लब और काउंटी क्रिकेट में ये बहुत होता है. So DRS has actually changed that a lot. Pujara is one Indian batter who does this like, I don't know 84, 85 से पहले या 90s से पहले क्या करते थे. लेकिन since I started watching cricket in 89, 90, obviously I was very young then, but जब से भी मैंने क्रिकेट देखना शुरू किया है, I don't remember an Indian batter who has done this more than Chiteshwar Pujara. So उस तरीके से DRS has made it a little tougher क्योंकि now if you're playing like that and Paul Collingwood good, Paul Collingwood, like I said, England में तो ये भाई, England में वो नॉन स्ट्राइकर क्रीज से बाहर निकलना is okay and this is okay. तो वहाँ पे ये तो basics हैं, so since the DRS thing has happened, ये चीज ना आप देखो, पुजारा इतना LBW होते हैं when he's trying to play this shot, क्योंकि he's putting his bat just behind the pad and he's pretending as if कि अरे मैं तो shot खेल रहा हूँ, but he's actually not playing a shot and it makes for a legal DRS decision. So I think it's made it tougher. It's made it tougher for wicket keepers. It's made it tougher for umpires. I think umpires के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा है because every decision is minute. Umpires call पे इतना वो होता है, extra yellow हो जाता है, green हो जाता है. So all of that is there. It's very very tough. I think especially on wicket keepers, batters and umpires, it's very very tough.
Yeah. Okay, Jimmy, I have a comment जिसकी हम बात कर रहे थे. Ben Foakes is a good player of spin and also a great wicket keeper. Dev Pratap is saying
100% accurate. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, Sahil, I'll come to you for the Harsh's question. Do playing ये वाला जो उन्होंने पूछा कि do playing with DRS made playing tougher on. What are your thoughts on?
I think it has definitely, kept the spinners more interested क्योंकि जो LBW calls पहले आप देखते थे नॉट आउट जाते हुए, मतलब if you remember the days when Anil Kumble was kind of hitting the pads day in day out, ball after ball. अगर कुंबले के टाइम DRS रहता तो कम से कम 100-150 विकेट फालतू लेता. तो मतलब विकेट कन्वर्जन तो डेफिनेटली इंप्रूव हुआ है. एंड थोड़ा सा इट प्लेज ऑन बैटर्स माइंड आल्सो व्हेन यू आर प्लेइंग अ पर्टिकुलर शॉट. कहीं ना कहीं आप प्रिपेयर होके जाते हो कि जब विकेट इतना टर्न करता है, यू काइंड ऑफ फैक्टर इन अंपायर्स कॉल एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, द अमाउंट ऑफ बाउंस इट विल गेट व्हेन यू आर लीविंग द बॉल्स, व्हेन यू आर शोल्डरिंग आर्म्स, व्हेन यू आर काइंड ऑफ presenting no bat. So a lot of dynamics have kind of creeped into batting as well because of DRS. क्योंकि अब वो टेक्नोलॉजी का बेनिफिट दोनों के पास है, बैटर्स के पास भी है, बॉलर्स के पास भी है. सो ऐसा नहीं है यू कैन डू एनीथिंग एंड जस्ट गेट अवे विद इट बिकॉज देयर इज दैट थर्ड आई कीपिंग एन आई ऑन यू. सो लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैव चेंज्ड ऑन दैट फ्रंट. तो थोड़ा टाइट तो अप्रोच हुआ है. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आप फोर्थ स्टंप का बॉल अब आप देखोगे कि बैटर्स आर काइंड ऑफ नॉट अटेम्प्टिंग अ शॉट टू, क्योंकि पहले तो अंपायर्स का एक ह्यूमन एंगल रहता था. दे कुड हैव गिवन आउट, नॉट आउट, based on what they saw. But now with the facility of DRS, अब आप कितना देखते हो कि batters are kind of playing with the pad. That playing with the pad has kind of evaporated. अब तो मेरे को कोई दिखता ही नहीं जो मतलब old fashioned way के अंदर big stride forward, presenting no shot, bat remains behind and the pad does the rest. वो pad से खेलने वाले players अब मुझे बहुत कम दिखेंगे, इसीलिए because the DRS is coming.
चलिए, coming back to the discussion we were having, 2 दिन से भी कम रह गए फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच स्टार्ट होने से पहले. विनीत रामाकृष्णन विल बी ब्रिंगिंग ऑल द इन्फॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम हैदराबाद. उसके साथ आप सबसे भी जुड़ेंगे हम. अभी के लिए इतने, अभी के लिए आपसे लेंगे विदा. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग दिस सेशन. लवली चैटिंग विद यू गाइस एज ऑलवेज. बाय बाय.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म. क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.